Welcome back to another video, guys, and this is one of the most anticipated ones for a long time. This is the SpeedyBee Mario Mini 40. You can see it's the 40 because it's got the red frame and it's got the dead cat arms as well. Now, I'm holding it in a very specific way because we did have a problem with this. For anybody that's sort of a regular to the channel, you will have seen that it did arrive dead on arrival. Now, I spoke to SpeedyBee and I will put part of their email on the screen. And basically what they said is, even though I didn't buy it from them, I bought it from AliExpress because at the time it wasn't available from them. They did say to me they will replace the flight controller. They will send me a new one without having to receive the old one back. But they did want me to send the old one back, order for them to check what had gone wrong. And ultimately that was never going to happen because I had to get the review done and we had to find a solution and a way to get this fixed. So the point being, initially SpeedyBee did say that we would help, but it would cost me around about 20 quid, give or take. Some carriers are cheaper, some carriers are more expensive, but about 20 quid, so about $30 to ship it back to China. And then obviously I would have to solder the motors and stuff onto the new ESC myself. So they are at least supporting customers. They didn't have to do that because I didn't buy it from them direct. I bought it from a third-party reseller. So it's really good to hear that they are prepared to do stuff like that. So that's fantastic. Now, what actually happened? Well, I'll tell you what, forget that a second. Let's run the first flight. So, Mario Mini 4 then. Can it rip? Well, I think we're about to find out the answer. I think the answer might be yes. So we've just had the helicopter land at the hospital. Sounds like we've got a bit of a serious incident going on there. Hopefully everybody's okay. But yeah, I think it's fair to say that we can rip this.
Transmitter battery low. Transmitter battery low.
Super windy today. This feels pretty stable against all that wind, I've got to be honest. Those bigger props will be helping.
Transmitter battery low. Transmitter battery low. Transmitter battery low. Transmitter battery low.
I think the battery's very happy.
Transmitter battery low.
But 3 minutes on a 720 mAh, ripping pretty hard. And the answer is yes, dead cat or not, this thing can actually rip. I better bring it back before the battery explodes. Okay, so I think we'll all agree, it's pretty chill, it's pretty cool. My hair is a mess. I probably need a stylist to sort this hair out, apologies. So I think you'll all agree that that first flight was pretty chill. It shows its capabilities nicely. It tracks really well, and it does exactly what a dead cat should do. it gets a prop set of view and gets that cinematic view and feel of an FPV drone. Now, as I was saying before, what actually happened with this? What went wrong? Well, let me just unplug this wire and I can show you a little bit better. Okay, so that's just the top of it. Okay. What we've had to do is, upon checking, we could see that the 12 volt, the 9/12 volt regulator wasn't working properly. So what was happening is sometimes when I powered the drone on, it would power the 04 on. Sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes when it had powered the 04 on, when I then armed the quad and it took it from low power to high power mode, the 04 just completely boot looped and died. Once it came out of that low power mode, that 9/12 volt regulator just wasn't putting the power through it. So when it was asking for more power, it was boot looping and it wasn't even sort of powering on at all. So it'd have to reboot the whole thing for it to come back on. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. Long story short, anyway, that is a problem with it, and hopefully it's just a one-off. So we looked at a solution, and the easiest solution, because of the 04 Pro and what voltage the 04 Pro will take, the easiest solution was to just solder it in to the battery lead at the back. So I had to extend this wire, as you can see, and that's it. It's worked absolutely fine ever since. There's been no problems with it. But the only thing you're going to have to bear in mind is if you do have one of these, and you get one of the other ones, just this cable has to stay in here. So don't take out two drones and not have a cable for the other one, because that is going to cause you all sorts of problems. Unless you've got a portable soldering iron and you want to start to solder in the field, that's fine. But that's the situation that we're in with the Mario Mini 4. It's not ideal, but in FPV, specifically in electronics, these things can happen, and at least the manufacturer did offer some sort of resolution. Obviously, this time last year, they was just saying, nope, not interested, you're not in China. So we've got progress, and I'm happy with that. Some people might think, oh, well, if I bought a brand new drone and it doesn't work, why should I have to solder? And I completely get that argument, but it's just, I'm afraid, one of those things that you have to sort of understand in FPV. It is a DIY hobby, and you are buying from the other side of the world and a different culture and so on and so forth. I dare say, if you wanted to just cut your losses and say, absolutely not, no way, I'm sending it back for a full refund, the seller on AliExpress would be able to sort that out for you. But it's just, like I say, it's when you involve third parties and you shipping from across the world and you are dealing with different cultures, it is just, I'm afraid, one of those things. But my advice to you is, and I'll leave a link either here or in there, learn to solder. We've got a video on it, we've got a tutorial on it. It's not as scary and as difficult as you might think it is, and by learning to solder you will honestly make your FPV journey, why is that motor so, it's probably got dirt in it, you will make your FPV journey a whole host better. Let's move on to the next flight.
Alright, so find the Mario Mini 35, I think it is? 40. Or 4.
Dead cat version, so there's no props in view, tell them that.
Yep, there's no props in view. Good, really good for cinematic. Tell me if the boot starts closing, then just like hold it, just hold it. Hold the boot if it starts closing. So
what are we thinking about it, Boy Wonder?
I was about to say something and you just cut me off. It's really good for cinematic. It does have tiny vibrations, but that may or may not is because of, you know, you C-worded it multiple times.
Wow. Why am I getting blamed for it? I mean, it was my fault, but...
I mean, it's true though. It is true. Hello.
Whisper quiet as well.
Until this. Until Boy Wonder happened. I'm gonna come for a pass by.
Hang on then, wait a second. Do it at full speed.
You ready?
Hang on. Angry Karen noise test. Mario Mini 4. Boy Wonder's at the controls. Let's go. It's really not very loud at all. I'm going to give that 3 angry Karens out of 10.
Nice and low.
People
for
will
fun.
hear now how many mistakes I make on the videos, because now I'm going to say, but let me know in the comments down below how many angry Karens out of 10 that you'll give it. Peace.
Bruh. Nice and yeah. And then I'll do a couple more tricks then land. That was a little bit fast. Meow.
Looks lovely in the sunshine as well. It just glistens.
Yeah. This is a really good drone for cinematic, guys. Definitely BoyWonder approved.
BoyWonder cinematic approved.
Yep. In fact, it's more than BoyWonder approved. This is really good.
So how long have you been flying on the 660 mile BoyWonder?
255.
255. And you've done a couple of full throttles as well.
Yeah.
Maybe do a flip or something?
Do something, me.
Do something.
I love this thing so much.
Really, really smooth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, bring it back.
Yep.
Don't punch out when the battery's dying.
I was about to do an inverted jaw spin, but then I just chickened out instantly.
Right, hang on. Okay, so one question that I get asked quite a lot is, can I buy the Mario 30 and then upgrade to this by just changing the arms? The simple answer is yes, but it might be a bit more difficult than that, because your motor wires are not going to be long enough, especially on the dead cat at the back. They're just not going to be long enough. If you look at the amount of slack that you've got there, it's not massive, and obviously the rear arms on that are much longer with it being a dead cat. So if you are considering buying the 40 and an other arm set, my advice to you is, or any of these and an other arm set, but you've got the 40 in mind or the 4 in mind, my advice to you is go with the 40 or the 4, because you will have the motor wires long enough. If you went with the 30 or the 35 like this, you're going to have to extend your motor wires, and again, I'm sure a lot of us are okay with that, but not everybody is going to be. So this whole drone system thing is sort of shown off as modular, and it is, but it's not quite as simple as they've made out. Obviously, it's modular from the point of view, you can grab your camera, you can grab your 35 or your 30 or even your 25, and you can just slide that on, plug it in, and away you go. And it's as simple as that. The bases are about 130, 140 quid, so about 160, 170 dollars, give or take. And for that, what you actually get with that, again, some people have got quite confused with this, but what you actually get with that is a complete drone like this and a canopy, but you just don't get the camera. You get everything, and it's all put together and pre-made and ready for you as well. So just bear that in mind. I'm going to cut now to the weight and size check of this drone, because I did say initially that the original canopy, this is not the original canopy from the 25, didn't fit the 40, and I think that could have just been me being a bit weird on that particular day, because the bases are all actually the same size, apart from the 25, which is a little bit smaller, but if it fits on one, it should fit on them all. So just bear that in mind. But let's cut to that now, and then after that, we'll cut to another flight. One of the biggest questions then being asked is, what do these things actually weigh? Let's have a look then, first of all, because we're going to have a look in a big way at all of these. First of all, we're going to take a look at the Mario Mini 4, the beast, the big boy. And he's coming in at 191 grams. The lightest battery I'd suggest using would be a 720mAh LIHV from Sub 250, likely rebadged GMB, which does take us to 258, so it does just eke us over that 259 gram limit, just. However, we have got an ND filter on this as well, so we'll just remove that for the sake of testing, and it's exactly the same. Okay, so you're right on the legal limit. I just screwed them screws a bit tighter. You are right on the legal limit. You can probably, if we grab a 660 mAh GNB, so you're going to need, and I have got one somewhere, I just don't know where I've put it. So if staying under the weight limit is important to you, because I know it is in certain circumstances, we've got a 530 mAh GNB as well. There we go, 241 grams, so that brings us right underneath. So there's probably a 600 mAh out there somewhere that'll let you just sit a little bit closer, but there we go. 241 grams for that, 255 for the 660. And with the 720, 258. The other battery I would suggest using for longevity would be a Tattoo R-Line. I'd probably use a much newer one than this. This is a really old and abused one, but it really does balance the quad really well. But that's going to take us to about 287 grams. So, you know, pick your poison, depending on where you're flying and what you need to be. Depends, of course, on the circumstances, where you are, etc, etc, etc. Now, let me check. Because this drone is designed more for cinematics, and people have been asking more about LIONs, and whether or not you can fly it on one of those. Let's first of all check the weight. So 390 grams, I don't think is a massive problem. I just don't think it's going to fit physically, because you have got underneath here, look, the two side panels that are raised up. So I just don't, I mean, it might do. It sort of does. You're going to need a longer strap. This strap won't fit natively. Or it might, or it just does actually. So you can just about get away with a, what's this, 3,000 mAh, 4,000 mAh? This particular one's a 3,000 mAh LIHV 18650 pack. So you can just about get away with one of those on this. Now, just really, really quickly, and I'm going to try and do this for all of the videos. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to pause it, but you're not going to know that. And we're going to check the size difference between these quads. So we're just going to move this out of the way a second. And we're just going to check the size difference of these quads. And I think the actual base frames are going to be exactly the same. So that's coming in at 73. And then for the 3.5, that's also coming in at 73 as well. The 3 is also 73. Now this is where it gets interesting. Yeah, this is smaller. This is 71. Okay. Right. Okay. So the new ones are all 73 mil wide, which is why they say they don't recommend the original canopy, because this one is a couple of mils thinner. So that does make a lot of sense now, to be fair. So, SpeedyBee Mario Mini. So, SpeedyBee Mario Mini 4.
Right, I got it.
At the Bando.
Also back
Thank
in
you.
the pocket.
Thank you, bro.
Pocket.
We're just going to dive the chimney. It's been a while since we've done that. We're just checking out the LQ and stuff. Every time you go near that boot, it closes.
I just sat down, that's all I did. Okay, I'm going to walk away from it.
That's probably a good idea. Now, it is a really windy day today, but we're minus 50, so signal is really good, 100% LQ, or 100 LQ. Okay. We don't have a GPS unit on this, though. So I'm just trying to hit the wheel of death. Okay. Without hitting it, obviously. This is probably my favourite place to fly.
Yeah.
It also makes me so nervous and shaky.
Because the screen could go beep, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, not just that though. It's the fact that it's just completely inaccessible.
Yeah. So you can't walk in if something.
My dives are not being very good. I need to relax a little bit. That's a good dive. That's a lovely dive.
Yeah. Nice.
Alright, so now we've done that, what we'll do is we'll come to this area next to us. And is 4 inches too big for this area?
Maybe.
I think it's going to be tight.
And wind.
And the wind is crazy yet. Yeah, the wind is...
Oh my god!
What's up?
There's like 15 birds that just dove right in front of me. Like 5 meters away from me, through the trees like a drone would.
So we've done a little bit of
That was like
cinema.
one of the craziest moments of my life.
One of the craziest moments of your life.
15 drones just flying in sync.
Oh, I can see them, they're in front of me now.
There was no noise.
So yeah, we did a little bit of cinematics around the chimney there, didn't we? And now we're just going to sort of cut in between these trees and just go a little bit crazy with it. It is probably a little bit big and quick for this area, but we're going to do it anyway. But for obvious reasons, especially with this wind, I'm not going to take any risks. Oh wow, 3.3, where's that come from? There we go, 3.51.
At least it covered.
That was definitely a tree.
That was another tree.
Oh wow, I just dived sideways through a tree accidentally
I just saw you.
and it looked really cool. By the way guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, that was completely deliberate.
Wink, wink.
Luckily I managed to back up there because I knew that tree was behind me, governor. Okay, 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Okay, so really quickly before we get into, I think the last flight now, is we're just going to go out and we're going to do the Angry Karen noise test on the Mario Mini 40. This one actually surprised me because I thought this one would be up there, and I don't think it is, but let me know what you think in the comments down below and whether or not I've got it right.
Yes. Yeah. Brr. Yeah. Oh my god. Almost just fell over. I don't know how. I just nearly did.
Right, that was the Angry Karen noise scale of the Mario Mini 4, and I think it's actually a bit of a shocker as this one, but in a good way. I'm going to give it 3 Angry Karens out of 10 because it's not, I think the speed of the props and the pitch of the props mean that actually it's not as bad as you would have expected for a drone of this size and speed. BoyWonderFPV, welcome to the channel.
Hello, welcome. What?
Welcome what? And what would you give it from an Angry Karen point of view out of 10?
I would also give it a 3.
So the average score then is 3 Angry Karens out of 10. Let us know in the comments down below if you think we're right, wrong, or idiots. Peace. Right then, that was our review of the SpeedyBee Mario Mini 4. And what are our honest thoughts and who do we think this drone is for? Well, the honest thought obviously is disappointment initially when it arrived without being able to power on your VTX system. FPV is a DIY hobby, but at the same time, consumers should have some sort of protection mechanism in it. It is a DIY hobby though, and if you get into this hobby thinking, well, I don't ever want to solder because I'm just going to buy a bind and fly, you're probably in the wrong hobby, and please don't, take any offense to that. It just is the way that it is. That being said, it was an easy fix. It was one solder joint, snip the wire, join a wire, and away you go. So it was a really easy fix and it resolved all of the problems. You shouldn't have to do that on a brand new item. I completely agree. But what if it arrived okay and you crashed it on the first flight and you pulled a motor wire off and you had to resolder that? This is what I'm saying when I say that FPV is a DIY hobby. And it's fine to say, well, I'm never going to solder because I'm just going to buy Bando flies. That's absolutely fine. But what you're going to do when you need a bit of maintenance. So just bear that in mind is all I'm saying. SpeedyBee did offer to replace the flight controller if I sent this one back. I think these flight controllers are about 60 quid. It would have cost me about 20 quid. So it wasn't a horrendous cost in comparison to buying one myself. But again, you'd have to do the work yourself. So you'd have to desolder and resolder from the old flight controller to the new flight controller. But overall, despite that, what I will say is I am impressed with how SpeedyBee have changed their tune, and I can recommend it. But who can I recommend it to? Well, it's 4S. It uses exactly the same motors as all the others in the X series, and it's 4-inch. It is designed for low, fast, smooth cinematic cruising. But as we saw in one of the videos, and if we haven't seen that video yet, I'll cut to it now just in case. Okay, Mario Mini then, in a relatively small space, and we've got lots of crosswinds, but we are going for the gap, of course, because this is our favourite gap. Might take me a couple of times to get it smooth. We'll get it nonetheless. Oh, seat of the pants this. It's got a little bit too much power for this area. Yes, it's definitely seat of the pants time. Or, as a famous football manager once said, it's squeaky bum time. You might see my leg moving because, well, it's squeaky bum time, I've got to be honest. I was pretty low to the water. And there is a helicopter coming. Boy Wonder will tell me though if it's in our way. Do I need to land?
Oh, you should be good.
Am I okay? And that is why we have spotters. Even though he's a little bit far away from me, we can still communicate. And I just took safety action until I'd heard back from him. One thing this does have is just a lot of power and knocking out power for people or whatever it is. It's probably telecommunications, to be fair. But yeah, even in this small area, it's still really good. It's probably a little bit much for this small area though, if I'm honest. I'd probably bring the 30 or the 35 just for a bit ease of use. But it's handled it really well. Nobody can deny that. Hey? Yeah, very nearly. Gotta be careful you don't get it wrong here when you're facing the lake, because you could tumble into it. But a drone that flies this well is super easy. They're not all as well tuned and as solid as this. But thankfully this one is. Okay, gonna come back and land. That it also freestyles really well as well. Betaflight is so mature now that even being a dead cat, it can compensate for it. Now, I did say on the very first flight, because I flew them back to back, I can absolutely tell a difference between the True X and the dead cat, and I genuinely can. But if you're somebody that only has a couple of drones and you're not going to necessarily be going out and filming and flying one after another, you're not going to necessarily feel the nuances and the differences in them. And that doesn't mean it's bad in any way, shape or form. It is very smooth. It is very precise. It's very pointy. It goes exactly where you want it to go, when you want it to go. Whatever you tell it to do, it will do. And it's superb at doing it. And the cost is like 150 quid for this, if you've got your own 04 already. And I think that's a bit of a bargain, because what you're getting for that is you are getting a modular frame. It isn't quite as simple as that. I understand, I've explained this earlier on in the video, but you are getting a modular frame. So you can buy this. You can then buy the arms of the 35 or the 30 and just replace the arms, and you've got a different drone for the sake of just replacing the arms. Or you can buy this one, which is about 140 quid, which is the 35, which is the one I so far love the most, but it has got props in view, and just change the canopy on it, and it's a 2-second job. So you can do it either way. The modular in two ways. The way of changing the arms does take a little bit longer, and it is a bit more fiddly because of the different length in motor wires. But overall, it's a really, really good new system of drones that SpeedyBee have brought out. And if you're looking for something that is potentially just under 249 grams, that is 4-inch, that can cruise pretty fast, and that is relatively efficient once you're going in the direction that you want it to go in, then this is a pretty decent drone. And if you want something that's got a little bit more kick to it, and you can add those bigger batteries without worrying about that 249 gram limit, sorry. Again, this is really, really good. A lot of places like the UK, you can go up to 500 grams if you've got something called an A2 CFC. And I'm sure in other countries, there's other exceptions where you can sort of increase the weight slightly as well. So 249 grams is still sort of the golden area, still the golden key. But there's normally ways to unlock that door as well. The 40 is brilliant if you want a dead cat, cinematic, lightweight, 4S, 4-inch cruiser. I'm sure there are better options out there when it comes to pure 4-inch 4Ss for cinematic cruising. But this works really well. And like I say, the fact that you can have just one 04 Pro for 4 different drones, it's the stuff that I've been asking for a long time. So it's brilliant. Now, we have self-purchased or self-funded all of these drones in this series. So I have got a massive favour to ask. And I don't like doing this, so please do bear with me. But if you are interested in one, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. And it is going to be an affiliate link. Now, it's not going to cost you any extra, but it will help us self-fund other builds in the future. Obviously, I mean, SpeedyBee have offered to work with us now, and I'll try and put a note up there. They have offered to work with us now with the 30 standard, but we've refused. We've said no thank you, and we're going to self-fund the 30 standard ourselves, and then we're going to have that on the channel, and then we're going to compare that to the 25 standard as well. So if you are interested, just consider using that affiliate link. It will just help. Or even if you're not interested in that, but there's something else on AliExpress that you like, if you use that link and buy anything else, that'll help the channel as well. And I would really appreciate it. The other thing I am going to need you to do, and I'm really sorry for asking for all this in one video, is to like the video, hype the video, share the video, and leave a comment on the video. It's really, really important that you do that, because it's going to push us out to more and more people. We had one of our biggest months last month in April at 1.2 million on YouTube, 1.5 million on Facebook, 500,000 on Instagram. We really are working super hard and pushing super hard, but I can't do it without you guys. So if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. But listen, that's enough begging from me. These drones are brilliant. Tomorrow, I'm going to have the review of the 30 out. And then hopefully, if the weather plays ball, the day after, BoyWonderFPV and I are going to go to the field all day, and we're going to fly the 25, the 30 Pro, the 35 Pro and the 4 Pro, all back to back. We're both going to do it, and we're going to tell you which one of those is the best, basically, and which one is the best for what scenario, because best is, as always, subjective. You're going to have the best for whatever, aren't you? But we're going to do that. So please do make sure you are subscribed, hit the bell icon, do all that sort of weird stuff. But until next time, you've all been absolute legends. I'm off to get my hair styled. Peace. YouTube and I have had a chat, and we believe that this is the video that you'll like the most. So watch it and let me know if they're right.